Afternoon, everyone. Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley Garage. You may recognize this marvel. This is a 99 Toyota 4runner, and it came in last night. And it had, when you had the air conditioning on, it had the most horrible screeching sound coming from the engine compartment. It actually sounded like somebody was strangling a hyena. So we noticed that the air conditioning was on, and we took and turned the air conditioning off, and magically it went away. Okay, you're done, we can ship it out. Well, no, not quite. What has happened is we thought one of the fan belts was slipping on the air conditioning pump, and it turns out that was not the case. Let me show you what we were looking at. With the air conditioning on and earplugs installed, we were looking down here. This power steering pulley right here, power steering pump. Down below, right down there, is where the AC clutch is. The belt that was driving the pulley for the AC was operating properly. However, the clutch assembly, which is kind of this big bell affair right here, is worn out. And let me show you what the replacement part looks like. So we ordered a new air conditioning compressor because that's the only way this one comes. This is a clutch mechanism. This belt takes and goes around here. Inside here, there is, similar to a manual transmission, a clutch and a pressure plate. This is an electronic assembly, okay? And you can see right here, there's a lead that goes to an electric magnet that goes ahead and pulls that in. Well, that thing is worn out, and it was slipping. So we have to take and replace this entire unit. This is not the easiest thing I've ever done. It's not the hardest thing I've ever done, but there are a couple of tricks I'd like to take and tell you about, and I'd like to take and show them to you right now. So what we did last night, which we knew we were going to have to take and pull the AC compressor off, we went ahead and evacuated the Freon out of the system. And free tools. Excellent. So we evacuated the AC system, and we were kind of looking at how to take and get the compressor off. And since the compressor is way down here on the passenger side, in short of taking all of this stuff off and trying to get it out, under here, that is not feasible. So it does come out the bottom. Let me show you how that is. If you can kind of see right here on the crank pulley that there are quite a few belts, and I think there's 4 or 5 of them. Okay, so there is right here a tensioner for the belt for the AC pulley. Okay, so what you have to do is back this screw off, and then you go around the front of it, and in the actual pulley there is a bolt, and when you take and loosen that bolt out, all you gotta do is loosen it up. You don't have to take it out. It will go ahead and release the tension on here, and then when you put the belt back on, you just put the belt back on, and then you tension it using this bolt right here, and then you tighten that back up. Okay, so your belt is off, and if you look right here, this is where the air conditioning compressor lives. The frame rail is really close and everything. we kind of got an attack plan last night when we were looking at it, because it was dark and our lights can really take and illuminate the situation. There are 4 12mm bolts, long bolts, holding this in. The easiest way, we can get 2 of the bolts from underneath the car here, and then if you take off the right front wheel, and then there is a rubber splash guard here. The rest of the bolts are available above the frame rail here, that they can get that no problem. So that's the way we're going to be doing it. As soon as we get the fan belt off, we got the thing on risers right now, so we're going to take the fan belt off here, so we got a little bit of room to work under here, and then we're going to go ahead and put it back down on the ground. Then we're going to put jack stands under it, and then we're going to take and pull that right front wheel off, and then it should be pretty easy sailing to take and get this air conditioning compressor out and get the new one in. Then we'll have to evacuate the system and check it for leaks, and then I don't know if this compressor has oil in it. We're going to have to check. If it does not have oil in it, we're going to be putting 8 ounces of oil in the oil injector, and then go ahead and pump that into the system before we put the Freon in there, because we don't want the new pump seizing up. So that's basically going to be our plan of attack on here. And then the next thing they can do is they want to replace the gaskets on the valve covers, and that'll be another video because that's going to take a little bit of time. On this one right here, we're going to have to take and pull the entire intake manifold off, because the valve covers are covered, and we'll take and show you another video and show you how that goes. That ought to be really interesting. Anyway, I hope I've given you some good tips, and we'll go ahead and get on this thing. Hopefully we can get the compressor changed out by the end of today, and we'll start pulling vacuum on it tonight, get the system gassed back up. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. We love all of our subscribers. Thank you so much for all of your comments. We really appreciate them. We read them all, and we answer. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Have a good one. Talk to you next time. So I wanted to add a little bit to this video to take and make it more complete, because I feel I left you guys halfway. So we have the new AC compressor installed right now, and got everything all back together and everything. And we've actually had the vacuum pump on here for a while, and we're checking for leaks. It's actually looking pretty good. So we got about half an hour on it, and it hasn't moved, so that's pretty good. But what I really wanted to do is show you how we got the old air conditioning compressor out. So let's go ahead and go under the car, and I'll show you what's going on. So looking from the passenger side of the vehicle, you can see where the new air conditioning compressor right there is installed there. But to get the other one out, it's a little bit of a bugger to take and do that. There is a clamp on the inside of this rail that has a 10mm bolt in it, that has 2 tubes that have clips on them, and you just take the bolt out, and that will give you some access. And then on the cross member, there is another bolt through a pair of clips that hold 2 more tubes. You have to take that out, move those out of the way, and then down here on the bottom of the radiator, there is a transcooler line. See if I can see that. It's over in that area right there. There's a 90-degree that comes out of the bottom of the radiator, and you must take the hose off that, and you must unscrew the fitting from the radiator. Make sure you have a pan under it. A little bit of transmission fluid will take and come out of there, and then you can take the AC pump, and you can take it out right behind the radiator, and it'll drop right out the bottom. Okay, had to wiggle it around a little bit. They can get it out of there, but yeah, it was kind of a bugger that they can get out of there, but it makes it a lot easier getting it out like that. Unfortunately, this area here is there's a frame member that comes down here just like this, and it doesn't give you enough room to that when you open this up and use your magic pliers and take some of these clips off here to take and get your access and get your bolts out and everything. No, doesn't give you enough room there. The two bottom bolts on the air conditioning compressor must remain in there, okay, because there is not enough room between the air conditioning compressor and the frame rail to take and get them out. So this is one of them right there in the upper left hand corner. You go ahead and leave those two bottom bolts in, in the compressor after you've unscrewed them, and then you pull it out to the point where you can turn it, and then you go ahead and turn that, pull those two bolts out, and then you can take it out right behind the radiator here after you've taken those other two things out. Okay, just thought you ought to know. If I find out something I want you to know, make your job a little bit easier. All right, see you next time.